Greetings, good people. Welcome to my channel. I am Nuku, the Horned Dakini, coming on to give you guys a reading on this beautiful sunny day. So come on in. This could be a resourceful reading for you, okay? Newbies, hello. I hope that you do choose to subscribe and stay, okay? You're welcomed here, and I'm delighted to have you. OGs and returnees, thank you so much, okay? Coming on to divine for you guys today. Just see what the cards want to talk about. I don't have a specific message that has been dropped into my mind's eye, but we will see together what the cards want to talk about today. Ashe. Thank you, sweet spirit, for using me as a trusted and true vessel to bring about a message for the collective that will soon be here to view this reading. Show me clearly who, what, when, why, where, and how. I will not be reading reversals. So any card that comes out, if you see me flip it, I'm putting it in the upright. Okay? I think I'm going to start with 3 cards, and then I will go from there. Let's take note. The Daughter of Swords came out, but I'm not feeling compelled to keep that. Also, I did 2 readings. No, 2 readings within the last week or so. So if you're new to this channel, meaning this is your very first video that you've ever seen of mine, make sure you go back and watch all of the vids that call out to you, right? You'll know which ones are yours based on the title. But I did drop 2. I dropped a message last night and then one a couple of nights ago. 1 or 2 a couple of nights ago. So anyway, they may resonate with you or they may not. If it's not, leave it there, right? Never take a reading that's not yours. Don't steal readings, okay? Leave readings right where they are if you don't resonate with them. Leave them for who it's for. Ashe. The God of Swords. You standing on business, Aquarian man. When I see the God of Swords, this is Aquarian energy to me. Now, some people say it's Libra's energy. Some people may feel like it's Gemini's energy. To me, it is a indication of Aquarian energy, okay? So I could be speaking to Aquarians, okay? Male Aquarians could be here, or I could be speaking about a male Aquarian in your life, or someone who has a very masculine Aquarian energy, okay? Could be a woman with a masculine Aquarian energy. 3 of Wands. And the World card. So just with these 3 cards out, new life. You're walking out of a cycle, out of a phase, out of possibly a pattern, into new grounds where you know who you are now. There is something transformative about your energy. There is something more deliberate in your energy now. Maybe in the past you gave the benefit of the doubt. Now you are only accepting your equals or higher. There is no benefit of the doubt. You're not taking people for face value anymore. You're trusting what they show you because people show you who they are, and it is our discernment, right, that teaches us how to believe people when they show you or tell you who they are, whether they're physically showing you or whether they're energetically showing you. Either way, however a person shows up and shows you who they are, you must believe them. You cannot give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I believe you've learned that somehow, and you needed that lesson. You needed whatever this situation was to it's almost like you've been being prepared or prepped for a battle, to be honest, some kind of battle. Now, all battles aren't wars, right? Some battles are just new challenges, new experiences, but you needed to prep for this battle. You needed to go through whatever you just went through to be primed. Okay, you may have even went through some type of purging, because what you are about to enter, you need your energy to be fixed. You don't need to be floating in and out of that Aquarian energy. Okay, Aquarian energy floats. Okay, so I believe that you've tapped a version of yourself where you're also incorporating that Leo energy, because if you don't know, you are balanced in the light and in the dark with Leo, right? You and Leo sit on the same axis, Aquarius. And I'm not just talking to Aquarius people, but I am talking to Aquarian people, okay? But not just Aquarius people. Find out where your Aquarius is in your chart. Even find out where Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and are in your chart as well, okay? But you are moving in a deliberate, intentional, fixed energy. You know what you know, and you standing on that, okay? And you are about to walk into a new level, a new version, a bolder, braver portal. And everything that you have learned prior to tapping into this was all a part of the grand scheme of things, okay? Show me more, show me clearly. I do believe that you are about to become someone's someone's storm. I see you, like if you just came through something and you've conquered it, you mastered it, and now you are applying everything that you learned from it. I think you about to be hell on folks. Now, you're not going to play no games. Now, I'm sensing that this could be in the workplace. It's feeling like other people are involved, whether it's family, friends, colleagues, co-workers, brotherhood, sisterhoods, motorcycle gang members, you know, whatever. You are showing up majestic, and the word miraculous keeps popping up. So I don't know if you survived something and it was like like some kind of miracle took place. I don't know. Maybe, am I talking to somebody who you survived a car wreck? You survived something. So it's almost like, so whatever you went through could have taken you out. Whatever the experience was prior to you getting back in alignment with your power, getting back in alignment with your boldness, and, you know, calling that divine, feminine, divine, masculine power back to yourself. Something could have, or maybe was even supposed to take you out, but you survived it. So place the energy where it belongs. There could have been a relationship, okay? It could have been a plane crash. It could have been a horseback riding, you know, anything. Place the energy where it belongs. You could have just recently went through something, and you being back maybe so suddenly in a position of power is shocking the shit out of everybody, because they literally watched you lose something. So maybe you lost the business, you lost your job, and it didn't take you long at all to tap back in. You lost a loved one. You went through a period of losses and challenges and teachings, but you didn't whine about it. You literally, like, it's like you, okay, I'm gonna hold my head up and go through this. So maybe you didn't do it in front of people, but that's what you did in the mirror. You knew that you kept your head up as you were going through whatever this is. Place the energy where it belongs. Remember, don't know what it is. It could be different for different people. And I think the people on the outside that may have known about the loss, known about whatever it was, the experience, whatever it was, and because they didn't see you going through it prestigiously, they just assumed that it took you out or it was taking you out. And so when you showed back up on the scene, you showed back up again very majestic. And to them, they're like, that's a miracle. Only God saved that person. Only you know, Jehovah brought that person through. Only Yeshua brought that person through. Only Yahweh, only Buddha, only Abatala, only Ra, only name it, right? Because everybody got different gods. I don't want to leave out the Muslim God. What's his name? Allah, right? So whole time, yeah, that may have been one of the energies that you work with, but really what it was is you brought you through it. You brought you through it. Okay? All right, show me more and show me clearly. But I do believe that because whatever it is that, Spirit said no, whatever it is that you have come through, it done made you rough around the edges now. You not playing no games with people who show up fake, phony. You're not showing up with you're not showing up in new experiences with the spirit of defeat. Like you're coming, not that you're about to be defensive, but I do believe that you are about to start showing up prepared for war, even if it ain't nothing but love. I feel like you're going to be showing up prepared for whatever. What's the saying? TTG, trained to go. Maybe something caught you off guard. Maybe you got caught slipping. Maybe you were not. Maybe you're just. Maybe prior to you moving in this energy, you were not exercising your discernment to its fullest extent. But now you are. And what's my favorite little saying? Sometimes shit happens so the shift can happen. And my God, a shift is happening, right? But you ready. You so ready. The shift might be scared of you. Because listen, you ready for it. Your north, your south, your east, your west. Everybody, all your energies, all the everybody's that's within you are on guard, prepared to assist you through whatever this new world, this new experience, the new challenge, the new relationship, the new job, the new, whatever the new is. You and all of the entities and energies and spirit guides that support you ain't playing about you. Okay, let's keep it going. Do a little shuffle right quick. I feel like they kind of popping all over the place. Get a little different type of momentum going. Thank you, sweet spirit. There we go. There we go. The Five of Cups. That to me is an indication of the energy that I think people thought you were going to be under. This is what everybody expected. You crying over the spilled milk. You staying tethered to the past. Staying tethered to past situations. Staying tethered to whatever took place prior to you tapping into your power. But this ain't you. This is just what the people thought you were. Who you are, let me show you who you are, because I know it's getting ready to come out. You are very well aware of what's on the other side of the rainbow, okay? You are very well aware of what's on the other side of the horizon, okay? Ten of Cups, absolutely. That's you. Fulfilled. That's you satisfied. That's you still believing in love. That's you still having a sense of intimacy within thyself, self-love, self-respect, if you have a partner, or for some of you, thank you, Spirit, for some of you it was a relationship that almost took you out. And it tried to get you to not believe in love anymore. It tried to get you to knock all them 10 cups over and believe that there's nobody on earth for you now, or nobody's going to want you. You're scorned, right? Nobody's going to want to be with you because of whatever this is you done been through. Or at least that's what those ants were saying. What are ants? Automatic negative thinking. So those, and sometimes we don't have no control over those. So something, whether it was people around you or just bad, low vibrational frequencies, something was trying to get you to not believe that there are better days, that there's something over in the horizon for you. Something wanted you to stay at that water crying, right? Instead of turning around and realizing it's some stuff already being prepared. If you would just turn around and look. See, I think you were bold enough, brave enough, wise enough to turn around and look and see, this is our water under the bridge. It ain't nothing I can do with that. So let me go on and turn my back and create a new opportunity for my front. And that's how this came about, right? For those of you who your new partner is already there, some type of new emotional fulfillment is already unfolding for you. This is this is the reward of your obedience. This is the reward for your standing on business. You didn't go into that old woe me. I don't see no swords here other than you being the God of swords. But there's no other swords here thus far that indicate that you went into mental damage, mental overload, mental stimulation. I'm telling you, I can tell that you stood on business. You said, okay, bet. Okay, God, I hear what you're saying. Show me. Show me. Like, you didn't go into that little bitch mode. You didn't start crying and shit. You didn't start pointing fingers. Because before people hold themselves accountable, they try to blame everybody else until they get to the point where they can't blame nobody else. And all them fingers that they was pointing are turning around and pointing back at thyself. So I think you just bypassed all that and said, nah, let me go ahead and deal with me and the role that I played on even allowing this shit to happen. Whatever the shit is, okay? But I am picking up that for some of you, it could have been a relationship or just some type of emotional experience that tried to remove you from love. It tried to remove you from loving yourself. It tried to remove you from believing in love at all, whether it's love for other people or love for whatever you do or love that brings about new partnership. Okay, something tried to ruin that, but you didn't let it. I feel like, thank you, Spirit. I feel like you were guided to keep your heart youthful, even though you were going through an old, grimy situation. Your heart stayed pure. It stayed youthful. So something about you is still very innocent. Something about your heart space is still very innocent, even though, you looking like you will snatch and stab immediately, right? But there is something about your spirit that is still youthful and fun, and it wants what it wants, and what it wants is fulfillment, and that's what it's going to get, or that's what it's getting. It wants intimacy. It wants love. It wants, that sweet, sensual, soft life. And I don't think you're going to fool with anybody that's going to bring the opposite of any of that. You're not, I really do believe that this is pertaining to someone who tried to turn your heart into an icebox. Maybe that's why a lot of people feel like this is probably what you're doing, crying. But this is not what you did. It is not what you did at all. None, zero, zip. Okay? You did the opposite. Absolutely. The Eight of Pentacles. Mastery. Excuse me. Mastery. So I'm talking to someone who probably has been through this experience a few times. You've been through maybe not the exact same, but something similar, or maybe with the same. Maybe you've been through several things with the same person. Still exams, right? Being challenged and tested in the same situation. Or you could have went through different situations with different people coming around to the same conclusion, which is, I got to step away from these people, that person, that place, that thing, and figure out why I'm looping. And that's what you did, right? So now that you held yourself accountable and made yourself responsible for pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and walking a new path, now you're mastered. everything that you did to get yourself out of the situation, to pull yourself up past the experience, was planting seeds for how you're going to maneuver through other experiences, whether they be similar to this or not, right? Strength is strength is strength. Strength, spiritual strength, mental strength, emotional strength, physical strength, financial strength, strength. You're being strengthened. You are strengthened. You were being strengthened by all of these experiences, or that one experience that gave you a immense amount of strength. Either way, you're mastered and you're strengthened because of it. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is also an indication that you may had stopped doing some things that fed your inner self, that fed your creativity, that fed your hobbies and things that you enjoyed doing, right? You may had stopped doing some of those type things to tend to this experience. So I see a reawakening to that as well. Not only is it going to bring fulfillment, but it's going to bring attainment. So whatever that is, you're either already back into it, and spirit is telling you go full throttle with it, because there's some abundance attached to it. If you have not, then this is your inspiring message at this very moment to tap back into whatever that is, because again, there's some reward connected to you tapping back into something that again kept you youthful and creative, but you put it down to tend to an experience. Okay, show me more, show me clearly. I'll show you. The Daughter of Cups and the Ten of Wands. I'm sorry, the Nine of Wands. I feel like that you had, I don't know if it was a person, a place, or a thing, but I feel like there is something there was something around you the entire time. I'm sorry, y'all. There was something around you the entire time throughout this experience that kept you. And it saw when you was getting tired. And little do you know, it was nudging you on the whole time. Now, I don't know why the movie Drop Dead Fred just popped up. If y'all know who, if y'all know Drop Dead Fred, then you know why that may have popped up. And I'm not trying to trigger anybody's childhood memory or anything that they did in their childhood that they want to forget. But some of y'all may have had imaginary friends when you were little. And even though they don't communicate with you anymore, they're still there. Okay? And there may be times that you even still talk to them. I don't know. You may have complete control over how they come in and out of your reality. Okay? Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they're there and you don't know it. Sometimes they're there and you do know it. I don't know. If you're resonating with this part of it, then you will totally understand where I'm coming with that. Either way, if it was not an imaginary friend, maybe you are a spiritualist that works with deities, and maybe you didn't know that your deity was there because maybe they didn't show up in a way that you thought that they would show up for you to recognize them. That doesn't mean that they wasn't there. I just know that something was there. Could have even been an ancestor. Okay? Something was there the whole entire time that kept your spark from going out. You had help. That's all I'm saying. You had mystical help. Again, it could have been an ancestor. Okay? They knew that you needed, and that might be where that miraculous word is coming in. Yeah, you were surrounded by You were surrounded by energies that was assisting you through this. That's probably why you handled the situation, handled the experience so bravely and so boldly and so creatively. Because many of you too, Ashe, thank you, Spirit. Many of you too tapped some type of creativity because of this experience. You found a creative way to deal with it. You didn't deal with it the way most people would deal with said experience. That may be another reason why people thought that you were going to be like this, but you proved them wrong, because you didn't go through the situation the way they thought you were going through it, because they didn't see how you went through it at all. I think you took yourself off the market, and you immediately, whatever the market is, the market could have been you came off the job, you came out of the relationships, you came out of the streets, you got out of jail and went and hid and started immediately working on yourself, trying to get your power back, trying to get back in alignment, okay? And you had etheric assistance. So I believe that I'm talking to somebody who knows. You might be saying, dang, so that's why that light was flickering. Whole time that was them showing you that they were there. And maybe it's now clicking to you like, oh, because you probably had some paranormal activities happen. You had spiritual things happening. It could have even been dream space type stuff happening. But I feel like these were things that were happening while you were awake. Things were happening while you were awake. And I think for a quick second, you was like, oh, okay. And then you just wrote it off as a coincidence, or you wrote it off. But I think now, if you're watching this, you're probably connecting the dots, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I did write that out, but it really was a spirit that I saw, or it really was some type of synchronistic paranormal activity. Whole time, meaning that it was just your spirit guide, your ancestor, a deity. Your help was helping, okay? Your help was helping. Show me more and show me clearly. Show me more and show me clearly. I'm going to pull one more card, then I'll wrap this reading up, because I feel like I've said enough for you to know if this reading resonates with you, if it is yours, right? Two of Swords and Judgment. And this is making sense. Two good cards to end the reading on, because I believe that this whole entire thing was about you having to make a decision to stay the same or move on into a higher, greater version. And that's all experiences make us do. It makes us choose. Do you repeat or do you elevate? Do you repeat or do you ascend? And I know that you chose to ascend. How do I know that? Because the World card was your third card out. That's all about ascension. That's the closing of a chapter and the opening of a new one. Okay? Sometimes it's the closing of a whole entire book and starting a whole new book. It just depends on where you are in your life, right? How old you are, you know, if you've made it through a Saturn return, if you're currently in a Saturn return, if you're coming up on a Saturn return. So it depends, that all of that kind of determines if it's a new chapter or a whole new book, okay? So I am going to wrap this reading up, because again, I do believe that you know if this is your reading. I'll take note that 22 is showing up. So you may 222. You in my mind's eye, you may see a lot of twos. Those are indications of you merging with yourself, like this the experience of the past experience merging with your present self, which is what has given you the strength. Okay, so you're able to move forward on a new path perfectly, with what you need, majestically, effortlessly. Now, I don't know who this is for. Thank you, Spirit. But I'm being told to tell somebody you need to work with vanilla. You need to work with vanilla. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I know what vanilla does from a oil standpoint because I make oils, but I don't know how it is relative to use. You do. You may already know about vanilla. You might already be working with vanilla. I don't know. Google it. Ask Chat GPT. I don't know nothing about Chat GPT, but I don't know. Google it or Google your own self, because we have our own supercomputer, right? We are a supercomputer. So ask yourself, what does vanilla mean to you? If you resonate with that part might not even be for everybody, but I am picking up on, because it was given to me to say that. So I know it is for someone that will soon be here to watch this reading. Something about vanilla. Okay. All right, good people. I'm done. Thank you for being here. If you liked, subscribe if you haven't, comment if you like, share if you feel like this would resonate with someone else. But this is where I conclude. Peace.